I'm starting part 3 today, but I don't know when I'm going to finish it simply because I just have not ordered any parts yet for the reasons I've already explained in previous videos. If you notice, I've got 2 of these jewels on the road on the bench here. As I told you before, I got a second one. This is the one that has the broken hinge over here, but it has a nice, better looking face. I fired this up running it on batteries. Of course, I got my Sprague T05 supplying the B+ power. As you can see, full up, unloaded at 77 volts. And you connect it here. It only drops a few volts because the batteries are disconnected. However, when I put the batteries on, I got static and a slight hum, but no stations. All the tubes test good, including the 3S4, which is right here. I was going to take it and put it in the first radio. This is the one that I started part 1 and part 2 on, and I still want to work on that, but I have to replace the 3S4. I am hesitant to do that because the coupling capacitor to the grid of that tube could be bad, and who knows, that might have taken it out. Plus you got that other resistor that does not belong there. Judging from what all my viewers that have answered me on whether or not to remove the batteries, I removed the battery holders from this one, and here they are here, and the battery clip for the 67.5 volt battery off of that one. So I'll probably do the same here. But right now I got a plug-in here so I can run this on batteries, well, running 2 D cells here and putting 67.5 volts here. So plugging these down, okay, I think we got it. You can hear the getting static. So as I said, all the tubes test good. So, and it didn't pull that down too much, so you still had over 67.5 volts. So the electrolytics in here are actually better shaped than the ones in the first radio that I showed you in parts 1 and 2. So they don't need as much forming up. I want to continue forming these capacitors up in here because I have no idea when I'm going to be able to order the parts. It's going to be quite a while. So at this time, I'm starting part 3. But as you can tell probably, well, maybe you can't because I didn't turn it over yet, I have not replaced the capacitors, which I said I would show in part 3, but I just brought this radio out and I wanted to show you that this has a little more possibilities perhaps, but it's going to need recapping. But one thing I will not do is take 2 radios apart, even though they're identical. I don't like doing that. It's too easy to screw up things. Work on one at a time. So one of the most important things I want to do is to replace the grid coupling capacitor of the audio output tube, which is a 3S4, so that we don't ruin the next one, because I don't know what the status is on the capacitors that are in there, but I'm sure they're no good. As far as that 150 ohm sand resistor is concerned, I haven't taken this out of the case yet. I'm not going to at this time because simply as I said, I do not want to mix things up and get things to a point where I don't know where stuff goes. So I'll be back in a minute here. I want to set this up so that I can form these capacitors up a little bit, and then we'll continue on this video. It's kind of hard to put the clip on here, so I had to Rube Goldberg it to get it in here. Well, I did have 70 volts, 71 volts going in here when the radio's on. You can hear the static. But it pulled it down to 56 volts, and it was 71 with the radio on before, so let's pop the batteries again. Now she's up to 76. So that's got to be drawing more than 4 mils when in operation. Remember, this is set up for battery now because I got this plug in here. So we'll just let that cook at a B plus of 76 volts. It's not going to hurt it. The electrolytics are rated for 150 volts, and that's overkill, because even when this is plugged in, I don't think there's any more. As I recall, I think it's 95 volts going into the, coming off the rectifier. I could check the schematic afterwards, but right at this time, we're just going to let this form up, and we'll probably go and try to do some recapping, but we're going to do that off camera on this radio here. Now, temporarily, I could probably swap the 3S4 and put it into here and see if we get anything, but I really need to get the coupling capacitor replaced. Now, on this radio, it uses at least 5.02 microfarads, in which case 0.022 is the values I have. So I'm probably going to have to order some more of 0.022s because it uses a lot of them in these two radios. Here is what I got in 0.022s. And when I get to recapping these two radios, I'm going to have to order more of these. You can see the parts list here. There's the electrolytics right there that it uses. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm hand holding this. Not set up to do a tripod. I got too much stuff on the damn bench. Now they're all rated at 100 volts, except for one. Now this 4700 micromic capacitor, I'm not sure what that represents, 0047 maybe? Really don't know. That's rated at 500 volts, and that is number 16. I think that is the grid coupling capacitor for the 3S4. Is that 16 or 15? Damn eyes. Come on, eyes. So hard to see. I'm looking at the viewfinder. Number, I guess it's 16. I don't know. The 4700 microfarad. There it is right there. 4700 micromics. And the 3S4. All right, 76.5 volts is what's going in here. And when we put the filaments on, not easy working one-handed. Hang on a minute. Okay. She pulls it down to 56 volts. So I don't know. I can't understand why this can't generate, can't supply a lousy 4 milliamps of power. Got to build that damn power supply, but I will not do it unless I got the right case, and I have to get some materials to build it. So, like everything else, it's going to take a while for me to get stuff built. So, ain't going to get much. There's a lot of static. It's probably this. Yeah. Yeah. Knobs are really, really, really hard to turn. I can't work one-handed. Take my word for it, it doesn't pick up any stations. So, pop these out. The 3S4 is cold. Usually they get a little warm, I would think, but all right. So that's where we're at right now. I think the electrolytic is good in here. What I'm going to do now, and I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to give you this video. Not much of one. So, again, at least I'm putting out a video for you, even though I'm not accomplishing anything because I can't get the damn parts right now. It's very frustrating. Like I say, I do have some caps that I can recap this. When I'm all done recapping this, then I'll work on this. I just don't have the electrolytics, the low voltage electrolytics. You know, 250 volt electrolytics, I do have some, but they're too damn big. You can't put them in here. I have to have 160 volt electrolytics. So, one, two, three, four, five, six. I count 6.02s or 0.022s. All right. Okay, I shut the voltage off for now. I think whoever put this in must have used acid core solder. Look at the corrosion on that. I'm going to clip that out of there. I'm going to test this. See if this is 1500 ohms. Not 1500. I said 1500 in one of my videos. 150 ohms sand resistor. These are quite common. I've seen these many times in old televisions and radios from time to time. It's a power resistor, wire wound. It just, they put like a sand over it. Eh, 194 ohms. Not 150. So it went up a little bit. Let's see if I can get a reading on this thing here. I might have cut the leads too short. Let's see. Something fell down. There's always stuff falling in this shop. 99 ohms. I think it's ohms. It's very hard. It's way up in the top of the scale there. I think that's in it. Yeah. That's what I don't like about this meter. That ohms is way up here and you can't tell if it's, you know, mega ohms or 1,000 ohms because it's way up here. It's very hard to see. So it's 99 ohms. And that resistor that's across it. So this resistor is up a little bit in value, but that would reduce the voltage coming in to the rectifier, which is right here. So with that being up just a little bit, it's not that bad, but I am going to have to replace it. I have yet to look in my resistor box. It gets so frustrating because when I look for them, I spend an hour looking through all the resistors and I never have it and end up having to buy it anyway. So that corrosion, I honestly think, because judging from the rest of this radio here, that corrosion's got to be some idiot who used acid core solder on these. You know, when I first started out in the late 50s, I used to use no corrode soldering paste to put on each connection when I soldered. That's acid core. I had a little can of it. That's acid core flux, not rosin. But I didn't know any better then. I was just starting out. It seemed to solder fine. But I continued that for a few years until I realized I was using the wrong stuff. But I got to clean that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace this. I'm going to look in my stash, so I can get a 5 water. If not, I'll see if I can get one on eBay and get one for a couple bucks or so. I don't know how eBay, I haven't bought in eBay for a while because I haven't been buying for obvious reasons, but probably take me a few weeks to get it. Well, anyways, we know that this don't belong in there, and it's cold solder joint anyway, see it? So we got to clean that mess up. Yeah, I got to clean that mess up. The resistor below that, that's vertical right there. I got to take that out or check it. I'm going to see if I can form these caps up, and that'll end this video. We're going to just put power to it and let it sit for a while. And then what I'm going to have to do is find a common negative on this. What's confusing on these radios is your switching right here, and I get confused with that. That's just switching from battery to AC. And we need the common negative, which I think is that point right there. Or it could be chassis ground. It doesn't really tell you. DC voltage measurements, 20,000 ohms per volt. It mentions something about common negative in here. I can't see that. I just cannot see that. I have to review on the screen when I do that. Even though I'm looking through the viewfinder, I cannot make anything out. It's too small. So anyways, this area I really have to work on. So off camera, I'm going to go through my resistance, see if I can get 150 ohm 5 water. My luck will probably be a 20 water. It'll never fit in there. And if I have that, that's good. Because the low wattage resistors I have, like 100 ohms, 10 ohms, stuff like that. But they're like 2 watts, you know. I don't have very many power resistors. When I had my old shop, I had a better selection, but even then I didn't have a lot. But back in those days, I just run down to, back in the early 70s, I'd either go to Jan Electronics, go to Aikens Electronics, Gray Electronics, or Jabor Electronics, all of which were all within walking distance of my Broad Street attic workshop. And I gotta be able to get whatever I need. Used to get a package of orange drops. They come 5 in a pack. They weren't all that expensive back then. Yes, you made less, but for some reason I was able to stock my shop much better on less money than what I can do today. All right, so this is going to end this video now. It was supposed to a while ago, but why not end it now? And I'll look for that resistor now, and then after I do that, I'll power this up for a few hours and let the capacitors form up, if they will. And we'll go from there. If I do have a resistor, then I can clean up this area, remove this resistor. But however, if I don't have one, we're not going to do it. We're not going to touch it, because we don't want too many things taken apart here. Becomes a mess, and then I'll be in hot water here in no time. All right, folks, that's it. I wasn't going to even make a complete video today. So once again, you got a show and tell. Very little else. But that's the way things are going to be for now, until I can get the materials to work with. So off camera, I'm going to try to recap this. We got a nice day out there now. Not real nice. Probably in the 40s at best today. But over the weekend it's supposed to be good. But of course it's going to rain. So it's either going to be in the 60s Sunday, but it's going to rain. So you can't win. You can't get a nice warm day without it raining. Just the way it is around here. All right. This concludes part number 3.